And as always, it wouldn't be a Fusion 3v3 cast without Leaf and Lawler. So let me bring those guys in. We can have a quick chat about the game. Leaf, first of all, you don't look as fuzzy today. Did you get any webcam? What's happening over there?
I've come back from orbit. The excitement has calmed down, but it may happen again as I get excited for this match coming up, because it's the last 3v3 of the grand finals.
Yeah, it's a tough one to call. Lawler, you casted Envy yesterday. This new roster impressing you so far?
Yeah, pretty happy with their performance, but curious to see on how it goes against Space Station. They're going to probably cut off a bit more than Rogue did yesterday.
Well, I really don't want to make a prediction on this one because I'm afraid of being wrong, so I'm going to let you guys go first. Leaf, if you had to pick a winner here, if you had to go all in on somebody, would it be the old faithful Space Station or the new look Envy?
This is a tough question, and I can see why you're not wanting to answer this, because I also don't want to try to answer this right now.
Do it, man. Do it. You're not the host anymore. You don't get away with it, man.
Yeah. I would honestly have to say Envy, based off what we saw over the past few days, I would have to say Envy is probably my favorite coming into this match. Their small touches allow them a lot of control on the field, and they also have that individual solo play power, whereas Space Stations looks like they've been having a bit of trouble getting some of that momentum going with each other, and they've had to rely a bit more on the solo plays, and I don't know if that's going to work if they lose control to these small little touches from Envy. So I would say Envy has the upper hand. Space Station, I'm not counting out though.
Okay, well, I really didn't know where you were going to go with this, but Envy voted by Leaf. You got there at the end. Lawler, do you agree, or is this going to be a caster 1v1 as well?
Space Station has Cypical. Space Station wins, man.
Oh, that's fair.
Yeah. That's not just solid analysis, that's just factual from Lawler there. They do have Cypical.
He just dodged the entire question with that.
Well, I guess we do have another, just a little bit of something on the line here. Who's going to get this one right? Man, this is such a tough one to call. If I have to look at these two teams, they've both looked really impressive in this tournament, and I love the addition of Rettles to Envy. I do think that is enough to elevate them to that level. They probably want this more just because they are the new team and they're going to want to prove this. So for that reason, I'm going to agree with Leaf. I'm going to give this one to Envy, but boy, it's going to be close. I could definitely see this one going to Game 7, which, if we're going to go that long, we better get started sooner than later. Guys, take it away.
Here it is, Grand Finals, a very long week for the players, for everyone watching as well, and we've finally gotten to this point. We now have Space Station Gaming versus Team Envy in the Grand Finals of the 3v3. Johnny obviously mentioned it. There's also a 2v2 and a 1v1 afterwards. So not everything will come down to the wire on this. Obviously, Envy Lawlers looking to make a statement here. This is, they're in a Grand Finals in a best of 7, playing against another RLCS team. So they're going to want to get this win, whether it gets them first in the entire tournament. It isn't looking like that can't happen, but it's still going to be a win that they want to get under their belt.
Yeah, I think they're incentivized pretty heavily here. Obviously, not only is it a new addition with Envy as an organization since the Ghost mix-up, but they are a team that requires excellence. That organization's been around since like 2007, and a thing that Hastro and those guys really carry through is that they want to be the best. And there's been a lot of concerns, I think, from me specifically about the Ghost roster, about their inconsistencies and why that is. And I think it's just they weren't incentivized. Yeah, they had an org, but they felt comfortable. And now with Envy, I think they have a backing where they're like, we have an expectation for you guys to win. We pay you to win. So I feel like there's definitely a level of urgency, and that's going to come, I think, even more so with Rettles. Rettles is not one who likes to lose, especially with all the crap that he likes to talk sometimes. So I think this, even though he's on loan, as Mist called it, whatever that means.
Loan players.
Yeah,
I want to loan him as my teammate for ranked.
God, right? I think they have a big reason to want to win. So, Envy, by all means, I think they look really good. I think they impressed me quite a bit yesterday, but Space Station does a really good job of adapting. One of the reasons why they're at the top is they continue to find ways to win, and they're good on offense and defense. So, it should be a really exciting match. I'm really excited to watch this one play out.
Yeah, the thing is, though, Space Station is coming into this with a little bit more on the line. Again, they do have that 2v2 for them, and if they can take out Affinity, that puts them in a very, very good spot. They would then have to look at Rogue's match. But if Space Station can win both of these, then that's it. You know, so they want to take control of this. They definitely want to make sure that they're in as full control as possible in this tournament. So this is still an important win, not over, but an important win for Space Station as they face off against Envy. Envy in the blue, Space Station on the orange side. A best of 7 in the grand finals of the 3v3 for Fusion Rocket League is now underway. And AXB is already starting off aggressive as he just dives into the blue side, hoping a teammate can put one away as he takes out the defenders, but they stave off as an attack. But another one comes very quickly as 2 balls now have rolled just along the goal line of the Envy side. We'll see if Envy has an answer.
Now, my biggest concerns coming into this game were not about Typical and not about Riddles. It was about the other two. What kind of impact were those outliers going to have? AXB started slow yesterday, but already a flip reset and a shot on target. So getting involved early here, you see the aggression coming out from Space Station, but it is being coupled by bumps and demos, something that we saw and talked about a lot yesterday with Envy. The ability on rotations through to apply aggression to get people out of rotation. So again, this one, it's only been a minute leaf. We're getting a lot of tells early here.
No, you're right. And yesterday, I feel like it was just a slightly slow start for Space Station. Or the other day, I'm getting all my days mixed up now. But Space Station, oh, that in, sorry. I wanted to talk, but that shot was great. Reddles is nuts. I was going to say Space Station is looking real good, but Reddles shuts that down real quick.
I mean, there's so many things to talk about that, man. Like, there's a pass across that's intercepted and gets played straight up by Arsenal. So already that's in a bad touch. AXB's on the back wall ready to go up and gets demoed by Atomic. So nobody's there to go for it. And then a double touch from Reddles. So again, you want to talk about being able to just capitalize on everything. It's just one thing after another that makes this Envy team so strong. Even with how solid of the approach Space Station had as they cleared into the midfield, Arsenal's going to be able to get a touch on it and play it into the middle again. Where it is met by Mist and cleared away. Ball on Space Station half. Simple taking it down, has another touch. Going to see if he can get this 50, pinches it across. As both him and Arsenal expect them to be working close together. As AXB tries to tie it in, misses the arrow, gets beat out by Reddles. As Arsenal plays into the corner, he gets 50 and pushed back across the other way. Misses there for the shot. Ends up barely missing. Very much different compared to what we saw yesterday when it comes to the momentum and the pace of this game, Leaf.
Yeah, you see it though. On defense, Space Station's playing a lot cleaner than they were the other day. They're even making sure that they're getting to their corner boost first. And there it is. That allows them for that transition, playing smart on defense, holding off the attack. And eventually at that 2.5 minute mark, a pass from Arsenal goes straight to AXB, and he's there to clean up.
I'm absolutely loving AXB moving up. There's no hesitation today. As soon as the pass is kicked out, he is there for the punish. So again, they can keep this up. It's going to be a close battle. We're halfway through game number 1. All tied up. Typical with the solo play, trying to play this across. Gets met by Mist. Ball drops down. Another touch by Arsenal, trying to push it past. Gets a bump on one. Opens up an opportunity. Mist. Gonna follow this with Reddles as Typical stands back as the last man. Does get 2 touches, brings it downfield all on his own, and that's the capabilities he has as a player to bail out his teammates as well as create opportunities. You know he's gonna hit at least 1 double touch this series. His ball plays across, missed up. Tries to get a touch, another 50 met in midfield. It's gonna be up to Arsenal, but Reddles already pre-jumping it.
Oh, Reddles just 50-50 after 50-50 there. That almost sets up the opportunity for Envy to pull back the lead. But quickly, counterattack. Arsenal flips away in favor of AXB to take the shot, but that gave a lot of time for Atomic, to get his hands on the ball, get his body in position. That attack's gonna die down. Both teams looking speedy right now. And it is coming down to those solo plays now, as both teams are evenly matched in every other area.
I just love how we're seeing an evolution in Rocket League. So many times did you see players just go for things they didn't have to. but you're noticing it, and this is across all the teams at the high level nowadays, where Typical had a clear, and it was a pass actually over to AXB, but AXB had, what, 12 boosts and was rotating back? And a lot of times you see these players will go up and try to make those touches, but it just puts them in an even worse position. And you're just not really seeing that from teams anymore. They're learning, they're figuring out ways to carry through what they need to do. They're doing whatever they can to make sure they maximize their options. As shots one after another from Space Station put them up by 1.
That's such a hard spot for Mist to be in. He came off the side too, expecting that to go in. He does manage to get a wheel on that second shot, the follow-up, but then there's another one. You said shot after shot, and eventually 1 sinks away, 30 seconds left. Space Station put themselves into the lead after Envy had the early start. On kickoff, though, there is chance for another goal to tie this up and potentially bring us into an overtime in game number 1. And Envy is looking to do that just now as they move on to offense.
Ball kicks into mid. Simcoe's going to bounce this one up. The shot from Atomic's going to play that down. Unfortunately, Red Hill's all the way back, so it's going to be Arsenal who's able to play it over the top. Could be a follow-up, but Mist does get a touch. They need to keep this in the air to give themselves an opportunity. Ball into the mid. Mist popped over to the left. Red by Typical actually ends up missing it, and it doesn't matter. Space Station going to take game 1 and leave a different level of intensity here in the grand finals already.
I'm gonna say it straight up. It was the other day when we saw SSG. AXB was making some questionable decisions, and he is the rock for that team. So if he's making weird positional mistakes or touches that should go where they shouldn't, that's a problem for the team. And it forces Simple and Arsenal to kind of give up on that offense and move back a bit quicker than they need to. That's not happening today at all. AXB is looking phenomenal today. He's looking on point. And that's allowing the entire team to work at full speed. Now on the other side, though, Envy is looking just as good and consistent as they did every day of this tournament so far. Envy is looking phenomenal, and that's why we had such a close series and an early lead for them right off the bat. But I think they just, again, are going to have to try to somehow shut down the speed from SSG. I expect some more physical play. We saw it early on even. Reddles was getting in there, or sorry, it was AXB was getting there. I think Reddles is usually kind of that guy that wants to get in for physical play, so I'll expect to see that in game number 2.
Yeah, both Reddles and Atomic have been definitely aggressing. Mostly Atomic on those demos when he sweeps through, but again, I mean, it comes down to what we talked about. The best teams, even though SSG wasn't looking the greatest and AXB wasn't as involved, they still got wins. But when they do have everybody involved, you see it elevate to that next level. And we get the competition that we're seeing right now. On the other side for Envy, yeah, Reddles, time and time again, super aggressive, going to be in your face. Whether it be first to the challenge or first to your actual car, he is going to be putting in that aggression. So again, expect a battle here on to game number 2.
And that's where we are, game number 2 in this best of 7 Space Station Gaming versus Team Envy, with game number 1 going to Space Station Gaming. There's Envy fighting off an early attack from Space Station. Their aggression not dying out. Game number 2, they're looking to carry that momentum straight through. And Arsenal might be able to do that. He's got 2 teammates waiting for him as he gets the touch out. But Rentals knows that he needs to get out there quick. Gets to it. Crossbar shot down. Atomic can't read that one. That would have been an early goal. Envy's going to have to try again. From midfield. Good pressure. We should be able to keep up the attack as Space Station running low on boost now. AXB manages to keep it to the corner. There's a shot to the net. Typical. Goal line. It's not over yet. The pressure mounting from Envy as they control boost, they control possession, they control midfield. It's going to get to Simple to get it past, but he can't. AXB, can he get it past? He can't, and it still stays in the orange end. Envy is just relentless right now.
This is what we got to know them for when they played G2 in RLCS that week. Even though the other team is super aggressive and super fast, Envy can just suffocate. Seeing it again here, it's only a matter of time, but something we've seen from Space Station. Their defense is clutch, able to hold on, and then extremely efficient on offense. But if demos like this keep happening, all it takes is one clear.
It's
that offense for nothing as a pass comes across, pushed away by Mist.
It's not even that it was just a demo. It was a demo after SSG finally got boost. Envy recognized that, they might be able to counterattack. Now we can go for the demo. It's just incredibly smart.
Despite all that, still nothing to show for it. We're 2 minutes in here to game number 2. XP and Arsenal play that across. Tap inside back to Arsenal. And then the midfield by Atomic up for Sipical. He's going to pass that out across. Seeing if Arsenal can get to it first. Ends up winning from Mist. Mist over the top. He's going to try to slow this one down. Flick inside. Read easily by XP. With a quick pop over the top. And the ability to bring this back the other way. On the corner. Sipical on one. Pops it over one. Mist there again. Carrying it into the midfield, trying to get a 50, met by Arsenal in the midfield, going to try and deny that boost at least, and he does get that as well. So could be a potential offensive pressure here from SSG. But again, Envy doing a relatively good job of clearing it out as quickly as possible. As we go back and forth yet again.
At that 2-minute mark, and still no one scored, but there's been a lot of opportunities. Envy had just a beautiful set of offense early on in this match. We're looking to do it again, but Space Station somehow held off with such minimal boost and so much pressure on them. I'm sure they're looking for an attack of their own. As Atomic comes out of nowhere and tries to smack Arsenal. Mist has support from Reddles, but it's stopped again by the SSG defense. You can have as much offense as you want, but when you got defense like this, how are you going to score? Maybe that's how you do it. Reddles taking one of the players out of the play. But they can't find any scoring lanes, so they end up back on their own end. Mistouch from Arsenal is going to give a chance for Mist, but I'm pretty sure he was out of boost. It doesn't matter. Atomic follows that one up. The first goal at game number 2, and it goes to Envy.
Really tough situation here for Sipical as he's rotating back. He wants to get off that back wall, but he's got Mist up on the top, and then another player following in pursuit in an Atomic. Wants to go on that back wall, but if he does, he's going to get dunked by Mist anyway. So, unfortunately, his angle not able to get the approach. Getting boost tonight on the whole way back. Again, it seems to be a battle for boost as a demo comes out for Mist, removing the player altogether. Pass into the midfield. Shot opportunity for Mist. Plays it a little bit too far to the right, but it doesn't matter. He sets himself up. Shot saved again by AXB. 48 seconds remaining. Pressure on by Envy. Another shot coming in. It's going to play off the top, but read well by Sipical. Down to Arsenal. Plays it downfield. Back the other way we go. Hurdles up top. Challenged by mid. Play into the corner. Space Station haven't been doing this quite a bit. Haven't been able to find those infield passes that they've been so successful with earlier in the week.
I mean, it's not even that they're looking for him. It's just they're getting intercepted so well. The level of play we're seeing here right now is phenomenal. The speed is great. As Arsenal tries to find that goal to tie it up. That's going to go high. Reynolds doesn't even need to touch it because it drops to the ground. There's no follow-up anyway from Space Station. And game number 2 is going to go to Envy as we tie out the series 1-1. And yet again, a 1-goal difference in the game. Both teams playing to the same level we saw in game number 1. The speed was phenomenal. Envy's offense was great. But SSG's defense was also great. Eventually, it breaks down there as you saw Sipical, the only one back. But when that whole team's back there, Envy just couldn't score.
Yeah, there's been some situations where both AXB and Sipical have been in really tough scenarios, and a lot of that is credit to Envy's offense. It is overwhelmingly fast, but they handle it well. It's one of the things I talked about at the beginning. Space Station is good on both offense and defense, even in situations where their players are in a 1v2. And the times that they need to, you see it. AXB sitting on the ball, being very passive, and then he has 2 players come in and just bully him off of it, where they literally just go and bump and demo him out of the way to try to get him behind the ball or away from the ball. So again, it is going to be very aggressive, but a lot of this game is precedented by boost control. These players are fighting for each other's boost as much as possible, and right now, Envy's actually got the nod in it.
No, you're absolutely right, and their boost still on offense. That's why they held that offense for so long in game number 2. And again, one of the smartest things is how aware they were of SSG's positioning. And it's a little bit easier when they can't move fast because they have no boost. But the second that I forget who it was, but the second that one of the Envy players saw an SSG player get boost, they went in, demoed them, took them off the field. Like, it's just very, very heads up offense and boost dealing.
Yeah, they do a really good job of kind of finding that biggest threat on offense. Who's the next in rotation? Who's going to be the most impactful at this moment? Let's get rid of him. So, very strong focus here from Envy. Both sides of the coin being very talented here as opportunity thwarts itself. Demo comes out and misplays, but AXB here trying to have to be the major goal scorers at third in rotation as Typical puts another shot on net. Atomic's going to be able to get up and get it past that last player in Arsenal. Going underneath, trying to pinch it in. Barry doing it for him is missed as I continue to say his name wrong. It's the last thing I read in that nameplate. It gets me every time.
Barry's kicking butt on the field right now. And in the first minute, it's looking like the other games here, except a shot finally comes in. I thought we were going to stay scoreless for a bit, but missed. Doing it for Barry, puts one away. Envy yet again in the lead.
Really tough situation there for Arsenal going into that corner. Wants to play it nice and soft so it doesn't kick back out to mid, but again, with the aggression from Envy, it does not matter. Any mistake like that, you know they're going to be there to pounce. Good jump by Arsenal, shadowing on that kickoff. Makes the boys respect him and back off as AXB just lets that one feather down in front of the net. Nobody there for it. AXB up on the top, launches it back across midfield. Unfortunately, nobody there. It's going to be easy for Mist to get a second touch on this. But the recovery not as clean as he's hoping. Goes possession back to Sipko, who again does not have any boost. Even in that corner boost he wants to go deny, it has already been taken. So again, the boost control from Envy relentless, making it very difficult for Sipical and the boys to get anything going. And before they find themselves on offense, they find themselves back on defense yet again.
Good pass, though. This is what I talked about, is these touches from Envy. Usually even shorter than that, but they're so quick to look for their teammates, get the ball to them, and it makes their passing play so deadly. But SSG is doing a really good job of shutting those down as quick as possible. You always seem to have someone on that sidewall ready for a hard clear from SSG, but the shot almost sneaks its way into the bottom corner. AXB playing phenomenally positionally today. Is stopping a lot of these offensive plays. But here's another chance for Envy to put a second goal in as we approach that 2.5 minute mark. Atomic just buying time, taking AXB out of the play, almost opens up a scoring lane for Mist, but it hits the post. They'll stay at a 1-goal lead, and SSG looking for finally some offense.
Man, Mist is having a really good day today. If you haven't had the chance to leave, make sure you watch his player cam. Just the ability to be so impactful in all the little things, but also up on offense. You see these challenges coming out so quickly for him. You had that one that just barely missed out wide. The aggression in the bump is going to open up an opportunity for Space Station.
And there it is, finally. A scoring chance. They say, hey, we can't do it ourselves. Arsenal opens up the lane, sends Envy to the moon, and there's a goal. We're tied up in game number 3. SSG grabbing a goal. With 2 minutes left. It's good to see for SSG that finally they get on offense. They say, we know Envy, you're good. We know you're good. You're not going to give us those chances. We'll just make them for ourselves. You know Envy's going to be on the lookout now for a player flying from that backside. Their offense has been pretty suffocating. We'll see if they can score something here. Sipical, with the respect from Mist, gets that ball past midfield. And it actually turns into a shot on net from Arsenal. Atomic with full control, though, gets that to mid, and Mist carries it all the way through, but utilizing all of his boost, will have to opt for his teammates. Try to hold the pressure for him. SSG trying to get out, AXB taken off the field. And there's just so much space on the defensive Envy that SSG, especially compared to Envy's offense, is looking a little timid on the offensive side.
Yeah, the only real opportunity they've been able to find is that bump play on Reddles. And I touched on that at the very beginning of this match. I have consistency in Reddles, I have consistency in Typical. It is going to be up to the other two to make things happen. That's where both of these goals have come from. Mist, as well as Arsenal's bump, but a wide open net for Envy with 39 seconds left.
There it is. You talked about watching Mist. I was. He snakes through. He almost gets AXB as well, but taking one player off the field, that last defender, was so key to that play, and it's what allowed that lane to open up for Envy. They're up by a goal now. Trying to put themselves up 2-1 in the series. They can get another one. They can off the crossbar. They'll be able to hold on to this one as a victory and put themselves in the lead in the series.
Ball midfield, pop over across the Typical, and unfortunately gets bumped by Reddles. So that ball pops the wrong way. He's not able to get a touch on it with only 15 seconds remaining. And Envy pushing up on offense. They should be able to stop this and kill the clock. As again, challenge in the midfield. Atomic getting aggressive. Reynolds coming in here too. Does get it past one, but misses right behind to follow it up. Launch back in the Space Station's half, and they're just going to be able to bunker down on this one. As a last-ditch effort, a high flyer to AXB. Can he get past? Plays off the ceiling, and unfortunately hits the ground for Space Station. So Envy now, another game of their own, putting them up 2-1 in the series here after game 3.
Yeah, no, Envy's... honestly, this series just overall, I got to give huge shouts to SSG right now, because they are honestly looking good. I mentioned it in that game there. They're lacking a little bit on the offensive side. They seem to back up quite a lot, and they're giving a lot of space to the defensive Envy to think about what they want to do to move that ball out. But SSG's been holding off on defense despite all that boost stealing as best they can. Obviously, it didn't result in a win for them, so they are going to have to look for more of those opportunities on offense. They forced their way through with a bump on one, but they're going to need more than just one if Envy's getting two.
Yeah, I would love to talk to some of these players and kind of feel how they are on the field. You know, it's one thing to watch and see it, but as the guys that are actually playing it, you can really feel like how fast the game actually is. Mm-hmm. And I can only imagine what Arsenal's comms are like, just from a personality side as well as just as a competitor. Arsenal. I'm sure it'd be interesting to hear. So I might have to message him right after the match and be like, "Yo, what was that like?" And we'll see if we get a response. But either way, man, it is a very fast game. Unfortunately, you guys don't have the ability to, here in the chat, to kind of spectate from their perspective, but it is very quick with how these guys are all playing right now.
RLCS level. This is what you expect out of these players, and this is why I was looking forward to this match as soon as it got confirmed. I'm like, we're getting a peek into the future, of course, of what we're going to see in the next seasons of Rocket League. So I'm loving this, and this is a great showing from both these teams. But of course, now it's up to SSG to bring it back and try to get themselves on offense. It's been a 1-goal difference in every single game, and that last game wasn't any different.
Well, thank you guys for partaking in our halftime show. The fireworks show is officially over as we're on to game number 4. Goal going to play this into the corner. I want to see them revert back to what we had in game 1, where they were super aggressive out of the gate and applied all that pressure on all those shots. It was overwhelming for Envy. But Envy's been doing a phenomenal job getting it out, and there it is, only 18 seconds. And they're doing just that. Aggression from Space Station leads to a goal.
Yeah, this is exactly the way they wanted to start. Grab the lead right away.
Typical didn't bump the other player, bumped to AXB. They were both hunting for a goalie that wasn't there.
I mean, hey, it worked. That's that aggression we saw a little bit of in game number 3. It doesn't surprise me that they're going that over the top in this game, because they know they have to do something, even if it's desperate, to shut down Envy's defense.
It scares me to think about that. You're considering that desperation already. But again, super risky, like you're saying, by sending that many onto offense. But again, it's been the only way they've been able to break down Envy, as their clears have been quite on point, able to clear that ball downfield extremely quick. Flick over 2. Unfortunately, there's a third. Ball in the middle. Typical with a chance. Puts a shot bottom right. Space Station up by 2, Leaf.
Yeah, that was just beautiful play. I was going to say I want to see more offensive infield passing, and that's exactly what we just got on this play. All 3 players got into about a 4 or 5 man dedicated play there. It gets finished off by Sypical, and the confusion draws out every single defender on Envy's side, and a 2-goal lead now for Space Station. This is the change they needed.
A lot of it is those direct approaches, very quick, aggressive plays, shots right at target to force those defenders. But then when you think, okay, here comes another one, they dish it mid. It makes it for a good touch from his teammates. So good positioning all around there from Space Station to keep Envy guessing. You know, Envy's going to come back as aggressive as possible. Challenge here from Reynolds, kicks it over to the other side. Typical versus Mist. Mist starting with the pre-jump coming off the ceiling, ends up barely missing. Ball in the middle, Arsenal with the trap, gets past one, gets a 50 on another. Minimal boost, but buys plenty of time for his teammates to come back in. Typical with a 50, and Arsenal ends up bumping that away from AXB. So this ball's going to find itself the other way, missed over the top. Luckily, nothing for Space Station. This ball settles in the midfield to bring it back the other way.
Although they're forcing, with all these shots being peppered off the backboard, the Envy defense to get up and commit to all these plays. Eventually, they're going to run a boost if Envy gets scrambly, but they seem to manage themselves very well and keep their heads very level, even under this huge amount of pressure from SSG. And that's why these guys are here in the grand finals. They're just incredibly smart players. But still no goal for Envy. So they sit with a big fat 0 on the scoreboard. 2 minutes left is a lot of time to turn this around. All you need is a goal and a kickoff. See if they can get possession. It's not going to happen as Arsenal at midfield just grabs the ball and buys some time for his teammates to get positioned up for another attack. AXB up. Atomic sends it wide, but Arsenal's going to be ready to greet this one. I think Reynolds got the boost, so they should be able to defend for a while here. But man, look at how many 50s SSG is winning right now. And it's allowing them to stay on offense for so long.
Again, man, it's all about those fundamentals. The ability to just win a challenge, what it can actually do, but awkward positions like that are a great start here for Envy on offense. But plenty of defenders stacked in the box from Space Station are going to allow them to push this one back the other way. Fortunately for AXB, no boost here. Could be an opportunity. This ball in an awkward spot. Aggression coming out. Atomic has been spending a lot of time headhunting on his rotations back. But this time he finds himself up on offense for the pass. It's Arsenal up in the air trying to find something. Only 5 boosts, nothing to work with. It's going to drop down for Atomic, but this time it's met in the middle by AXB. Tries to go for a second touch. Doesn't end up hitting it. Does not matter. Sip goes right behind it. Air roll shot gets stopped and blocked away. And again, back and forth we go. Leave 45 seconds left. Space Station's been able to hold on to their lead.
Yeah. And look at this. What they're doing now is they're not pushing in too hard. Space Station's kind of conditioned Envy to just hit the ball away as fast as possible, knowing another shot's coming in, that they're just giving the possession back to midfield where Space Station is waiting. Great smart play, and it's allowing them to just have full control over the series, and it's going to allow them to get another goal in, and this game is in favor of Space Station.
Exactly why I love them in this game. The ability to adjust on the fly. So much aggression, overwhelming pressure, forces these hits like you stated, and then they back off. They realize we don't have to beat them to the ball anymore. They're going to want to play fast because they're down, and that's the advantage Space Station has given themselves. So fantastic play from Space Station, forces the team from Envy to utilize all their boots to just play catch-up, and then they actually end up passing that to Sypical for their own counterattack.
Now as time clicks down, game number 4 going in favor of Space Station Gaming, and we end up back to a tied series, 2-2, as the Envy and SSG battle for these points. And I'm sure at this point, again, it's for a lot of these players, it's more than just the points infusion right now. This is a team that they're going to have to see a lot of in the future. And it's more of just getting that early footing, proving to this opponent that we're a team you are going to have to prepare for. We are a team that you are going to have to keep your heads up when you're around. And both teams are making that statement. In all honesty, other teams of their caliber are going to have to be looking out for them too, because I'm loving what I'm seeing from both teams. they're both taking turns kind of controlling each game. Now it's up to Envy to make those changes because SSG was in full control of that game.
Yeah, there's been obviously a lot of speculation about roster changes and stuff during this offseason. And I think one of the big ones, if it does end up happening, even though he's, quote, on loan, is Reddles. His impact and what he's had for this Envy squad has brought a lot of things. And it's why I kind of hyped up the rivalry that I think Envy and Rogue could become. And we're seeing exactly that. You know, Envy is pushing the boundaries against what many consider the second best team in North America right now in Space Station. So again, I think we're starting to see North America trend to a very good spot where that quote-unquote fourth team at LAN is not going to be a walk in the park. It is going to be an absolute battle. And we're seeing some of those early progressions here in Fusion RL.
Game number 5. The winner of this will put themselves at match point, which is a huge benefit on the mental game. And let's see if AXB can finish this one up. I wasn't sure if the defense was going to pull back from Envy there, but they get scrambled. Sypical manages to just force Atomic to put it out for AXB. Goal number 1 for SSG.
Just saying, man. He's a really good player. Plays in super fast, decides to go low instead of high because he went high last time. And then this time he just break checks it. Like you said, Atomic's forced to respect that he's there and where the ball is. He doesn't even have to do anything. So he conserves his boost and they get a free goal out of it. So again, super aggressive out of the start here from Space Station. It's missed flying from the Raptors. Ends up getting 2 touches and making this one awkward.
That was really smart though. What he did was he bought a lot of time for his teammates to figure out where they needed to be by getting those touches and popping it so high. Shot though high off the crossbar. AXB tries to get that one, body slams his face into it so hard that his car just dies afterwards. And Reddle's gonna get credit as he finds just the right spot to put it.
Give Reddle space, you know he's going to punish. Deciding to go near post top left. Beautiful shot placement from Reddles. Trying to do what he can to show his impact on this team. See him take it here with a solo play. It's going to get stopped by Arsenal, but in the midfield by Miss. It's going to pop that one back down. Trying to go for a little bit more control. Trying to force somebody to go with him. He ends up getting it past one, but gets bumped on the way. Throws him off his pass across back to Sypical. In the midfield by 2 players, and that's kind of how this game has been. Who can get to the midfield first as a pass play develops, and Sypical's slight hesitation there doesn't allow him to get around it. So a beautiful pass play could have been for Space Station, but now they find themselves with control in midfield. AXB up top, trying to play it slow, trying to play it off the backboard. He's going to let this one slide. Gets 2 defenders for his efforts. It's not over yet. Sypical trying to get past one. Atomic takes it on his own. A wide open net and a goal here from Envy. 2 minutes in, back on top.
Yeah, I don't know what happened there. AXB was up really far on that. I couldn't tell where he was before that made him push up that hard. Maybe it was boost. Maybe it was not knowing where a teammate was, but an open net, it's not a situation you want to see as Space Station, especially when it gives Envy the lead.
Yeah, a multitude of things on that one. Good solo play from Atomic with that extra touch to get past 2, but then also that back man got demoed. So again, aggression from Envy trying to play bully and headhunter has been Atomic, but this time shows what he can do on top of the ball. As ball slows down, you see a pass and shot opportunity come across. But these 50s from Envy moving closer and closer to Space Station's net. As a pinch blast that down the other way. Misk with a doink. Quick turnaround, able to play it back into midfield. Should slow the progression of Space Station. As XP comes across and ends up missing the ball, tries to get back on top of it. Does force Reddles to make a hit. This gets Sypical up in the air. Fortunately for him, he's not going to get it, but he does get a boost knife for his efforts. All in, Sypical and AXB just trying to do whatever they can, but getting bumped off of every play they make an attempt on. As the shot comes across, saved by Mist. Space Station been able to hold offense for a little bit here. Just like that, Envy gets a clear.
Yeah. Reddles single-handedly bringing that one down into the orange end, and then Atomic to give him support. This is not going to be easy. for Space Station to get out now, especially given their position, and especially given how much boost they have at this point. I feel like that's been a big problem for SSG, especially for AXP, is that he's been having some difficulty finding boost as a result of Envy being so on top of the game. But once they do get it, they can turn this around. And Arsenal just bullies his way in there.
Just poor rotations here from Envy. Everybody moving with the ball towards where the ball is originating, rather than trying to go cut across the other way in the field so they can meet it head on. Ball plays back into traffic. It makes it really easy for someone like Arsenal to just come in and challenge from the other side. Ends up pinching in and tying it up. So with 1:15 left, both these teams trying to put themselves on match point. A huge advantage, like you talked about, for the mental game as well as otherwise.
Yeah.
So they try to bring this downfield. AXP should be the first one up to this. Has a weird bounce, ends up playing low, but he adjusts correctly. 1 minute remaining. Just on offense, try to play this down. Has 2 committing. They're able to play it into midfield. Atomic up. She's going to get beat by AXP. Pass to Arsenal over to the side, but nobody there. And he just throws possession away. Just has that expectation that someone's there, but just haven't been able to move on offense as the pass goes to Typical. Nobody there for the double touch. Reynolds plays it and clears it away from the backboard. AXP on offense has the ball, forces Atomic up. Trapped down from Typical, even though Arsenal went for it as well. So could be a dangerous spot for Space Station as they had 2 commit to that. With only 25 seconds left, Envy finds themselves again on offense.
This is going to be difficult. The only times I've seen AXP have trouble is when he has no boost. And SSG is going to have a lot of trouble as Envy just forces their way into the net as well. The physical play opens up a lane for Reynolds. And he's going to grab the lead with only 18 seconds left. And Envy poised to take match point.
Again, man, it's missed. Being aggressive, creating opportunities, going for bumps, demos, whatever he can. He forces a jump on that defender because he's already in the air. He's not able to get up. You see Atomic here being a bully as well. 6 seconds remaining. Clock ticking down. As Reynolds just trying to kill as much time as he can. Ball into the corner. Has an opportunity to keep this up. Plays it in the mid. And a touch from Atomic's going to push it out of reach. Envy finds themselves on match point.
Yeah, what a turnaround. SSG, this is the big thing. And this is going to be Envy's game plan going into this final match. Control boost. Because when they do that, SSG just can't figure out where they can't get where they need to be. I mean, like, their game plan is have Typical and Arsenal work on offense together.
Yeah.
Have AXP move in there when he needs to buy time. Just, move the ball around, clean up some goals if he needs to. But he's mostly holding that midfield line so the other 2 can do what they need to do. When AXP doesn't have boost, and that's been happening a lot because Envy has been taking it from them all.
They just take it all, yeah.
AXP can't do what he has to do to support his teammates. And it's the direct result of Envy getting in there and being aggressive on that boost stealing. So if Envy can keep doing that, they're going to have this series. And SSG is going to be continued to put into awkward positions, trying to find those boost pads.
It's just so frustrating because Envy does such a good job of controlling the pace when they play really fast, when they don't have to hesitate, when they don't have to slow down. They just go for everything. They have zero hesitation, and it just makes everything just kind of follow in suit. And then when those opportunities do exist, for someone like Reynolds, I mean, that was the difference maker in that game, was a shot top left in a solo play where he had the ability to take a little bit of an extra beat or a pause, and then he just finds his target and just blasts a shot. So again, Envy wants to play super aggressive. They want to go for these bumps and demos and just create this chaos, and they're very good at it. But Space Station's been trying to thwart that as much as possible by a little bit more composure and a little bit more control. The difficulty, though, is they don't have any boost when they do it. And you saw what happens. They get caught, they're sitting there, and then all of a sudden you have Mist or somebody in your face, primarily Mist and Atomic at this point, and they just force somebody to jump, and they can't do anything about it. So again, it has been a back and forth. This is the chess match that we love to see in Rocket League. I hope it goes to 7, but at the same time, like, if Envy takes this, it's credited to them. They're playing extremely well.
Well, that's exactly it. I feel like Envy is going into this still in control of the match. Now, the question is whether they can continue to formulate and execute on that game plan, because AXP will jump on any opportunity that Envy gives them to shut them down and take this in. They very well can still win this series, but I do believe that control is in Envy's hands right now. So knowing that information, Lawler, going into this potentially final match, what would you do as SSG knowing that that boost is such a critical thing for you, you know that Envy's coming after your corners. How are you going to make sure that doesn't happen so that Envy doesn't have control?
I think it's really characteristic on the way that they won their other game when they're up 3-0. They have to be aggressive. They have to play super fast. Once they establish a lead, which they just did, then they can back off a little bit. They can let these players go for every single touch, be super aggressive, and then just wait for those touches afterwards. The difficulty, though, is they need to make sure they're still moving when they do that, because if they don't, they're going to get demoed. I think a lot of it, though, on the back of AXB. He's got to find a way to put those shots away and be involved like he was in Game 1.
Now we come into a potential final match, game number 6. Match point for Envy, Space Station. Looking to do the best to control their fate in the Fusion tournament. They have a 2v2 match later against Affinity that they can still put themselves in a good spot, but they're gonna want to get this win now. AXB puts one away.
Hey man, I wanted to talk about him playing fast and aggressive, and he's doing that. Rather than kind of sitting in the midfield, he is moving at a pretty solid speed, just shy of supersonic. And as soon as that play develops, he's first to it, he's feeling it, he's flipping that camera around. He knows the impact he just had, so great job from them. See if they can get another one, and if they do, you might start to see that position change. A little bit slower on the ball, a little bit slower approach, but a lot more boost to go with it.
AXB grabbing the first goal for Space Station, putting them into the lead. Envy's going to want to get that one back. They want to end the series now. Space Station's not going to make it easy. We talked about it in the break. They're still in this if they can control the boost. That's going to be a punish there. Oh, if Arsenal just put it low to the far side. But he takes it high instead. The attack still on for Space Station as they look for a second goal. Sipical in, but he doesn't get the boost. It's going to give Envy a little more breathing space on defense. Arsenal wants to just keep the pressure up. He's going to do exactly that. As he gets it by 2 and tries to take out Reddles in net. That would have been an open lane to score on, but finally that SSG offense fizzles out. As Mist can move it up past midfield. But Envy loses control yet again. Mist is going to be very careful as the last defender back here. He's getting bullied. He keeps just enough space to himself, though, to make a solo play. And you're right, man. Mist is looking phenomenal on the field today.
Yeah, unfortunately, though, for AXB, again, I talked about his impact on this one and what he needed. He's done it now once, but had 2 opportunities there. The first one, when the ball was on offense, instead of just holding onto it with 3 defenders, he just hits it across body and just throws possession. The second time after that, that pass that was going across the typical, got a little bit behind him, played a little bit high of a loft, and a shot coming in from Atomic. Save by Arsenal keeps him alive here. But again, nobody's playing quite perfect, but damn near close for some of these guys.
Almost a scoring chance there for Envy, but they had the ball moving just a little bit too fast. Ooh, that's going to be an awkward spot for the Envy defense now as AXB cuts across. You have all 3 players sharking with boost, ready to pounce on any open spot, but a counterattack. Miss sends that one home, but it doesn't make it through the front door as save after save come out from the SSG defense, and the attack finally fizzles off. A demo to add to it. And they hold on to the lead with 1:24 left. SSG has been in control of a lot of this game because they've been in control of a lot of the boost. Envy's going to need to turn it around. And final minute hustle. They don't want this game going to game number 7.
A lot of the reason why they've been able to control it, though, on the side of Space Station has been Arsenal. Numerous times his decision-making alone has been the reason why they are finding themselves in good positions. Stopping out that shot, he puts another one in, and as I say his name, he puts a goal in. 2-goal lead for Space Station.
Atomic, not the best of touches there, realizes it instantly as he tries to use the rest of his boost to get in front of it. And Arsenal, He's a great player. He's going to put that where it needs to go to get scored in a 2-goal lead in the final minute. Not what Envy was picturing here. We'll see if they can grab control off that kickoff. They managed to get it to the orange territory, but not in front of the net for any of their players. To punish with almost a fit going into the net. I think he wanted a bit of a touch on that one, but it goes past him. And now, something happening to SSG's defense. Miss is going to turn hard on that one and shove it away.
Rightfully so, as he should. All three players going into that corner, just overlapping like crazy, and then you see it as it bounces across. I think they all kind of needed that corner boost, and that's Envy's offense in a nutshell. Overwhelming pressure forces them in bad spots, and with minimal boost, they can't make the save. So again, a jump across ends up pushing it into his own net. With 15 seconds left, Space Station kickoff behind him. And a beautiful 50 from Sipical. Make that 2. He's going to be able to push this on the other side still. So again, final 5 seconds remaining. Envy's going to have to bring this to the other side of the field. His ball left and right in a very awkward spot, trying to keep it up. Last effort from AXB here. He's going to drop it down, 50 there. Tama keeps it up. Big clear, plenty of boost. Trying to get the flipper set, pops it up again. Opportunity. AXB with 0 boost on the back wall. They need something here as Arsenal plays it down. Again, kept up by Reddles. Sipical's going to go for the fake, and it's going to drop down. We have ourselves a game number 7.
What more could you ask for? I mean, I think anybody could have, at the beginning, said that, yeah, this is very likely to go the distance, to go to game 7, and here we are. SSG, Envy, both making adjustments every single game, and it's so fun to watch these two teams battle back and forth, trying to adjust game after game to figure out what they need to do to shut down their opponent, because both of these teams are worthy of getting the win, and that shows by going to game 7 in the grand finals. It's just, this is phenomenal play. SSG knew what they had to do. They took control of the boost, and it put them into a win in game number 6.
Yeah, it's been an exciting series altogether. Definitely a chess match of back and forth. And that's what you want to see, is both these guys being able to competitive. For us as fans of the game, we just get to sit back and enjoy it. So a lot of things that probably are being discussed on both sides about, be aware of these bumps and demos. But I think the number one thing is missed. His impact for Envy has been insurmountable on both offense and defense. He's doing a lot of things really correctly about grabbing boosts as well as playing aggressive. And he's not doing it where it's putting him in a disadvantage. He's able to do it through rotation cleanly. So again, my eyes on Mist. He could be the reason why they get this win.
You don't want to rely solely on him, though. All 3 players need to know what they have to do. Get that boost away from AXB. And keep up with those little touches that they're so good at. Looking for each other on every single one of them. But Space Station, do what you did last game, guys, because it worked. Game number 7, the grand finals of the 3v3 Fusion. A pass out center, and Sipical putting away the first one. SSG grabs the lead. Arsenal with a beautiful pass.
Just falls on it and pinches it across, even with 2 defenders there. You saw Reddles at the end just jumping. He knows that's a dangerous spot. And when Sipical has space and time with a shot, you know he's going to put it away. So well done and a great start here. Arsenal again showing his impact here for Space Station as a massive clear from him. He's going to put this on the Envy side, but they decide to dish it right on back.
Yeah, this is kind of the opposite of what I was saying I want to see out of them. I want them to keep those small touches to each other on defense, to work together to get that ball up the field, but just banging it away down to the other end is not going to work for them. Dribble from AXB, gets it past 1. He doesn't have enough to put it on net, so Sipical follows him up, but AXB just destroyed Envy.
Oh, what a fake. Oh my god. Oh, I could watch that over and over again.
Well, save the replay and you can, because that was phenomenal and I wouldn't blame you for it. AXB, a dangerous man on the field, showing why he can stand with the rest. And a demo there, that's going to be another one. AXB gets credit for this. But of course, the demo was the key part of this play from Arsenal.
again on offense as Arsenal wins a crucial 50-50 in the corner. And then follows up with the demo, so well done. But still a ton of time left here for Envy. Has the capability to put this on. We've seen what their offense can do and the amount of overwhelming pressure they can apply. But right now, Space Station has shown that they have their number as again met in the midfield here. Mist plays it past one, showing that he can be involved. Over to Atomic, trying to play this down. He goes underneath, plays it past one, plays it past another. Opportunity for Mist. Saved away by Arsenal. So a good opportunity here from Envy. Just pushed away as AXP is going to play this high. Mistake on defense, shot from Sipical, an easy double. I said I was going to get at least one here, and there it is. Up by 4, only 2 minutes in, Leaf.
Space Station Gaming is popping off in game number 7. All 3 players are getting involved in phenomenal plays, and Sipical says it's my turn to double tap. With 3 minutes left and 4 goals up, Space Station in full control. Envy's gonna need to answer quick now.
You don't want to put all the blame on one player, but Atomic has been making some pretty bad whiffs on defense. A typical ceiling shot. He doesn't even need to hit it. That's 5.
Guys, chat. SSG wants this win off the ceiling. He misses it, and the defender thinking the shot's coming in. What's Mist gonna do on that? I can't blame him there. 5 goals now. And we're only now approaching the halfway mark. SSG dominating the field. While Envy's not out, a 5-goal comeback is not in any way the simplest of tasks.
The only time I've seen a 5-goal comeback in competitive play was actually in Fusion qualifiers with Cloud9. Over Jamal Jabari in game 1, they were down 0-5, brought it back and won an OT. They had a lot more time to work with than these guys do now. So, again, a really rough task here for Envy. But this could be the start of it. As Mist plays it one over the top, a shot there. Good check, too, by the defense of Space Station. As this one in a very awkward spot, minimal boost. Could be an opportunity here from Envy, but a big dunk from Arsenal. And another shot immediately on target. Make it 6.
Guys, we're entering Brazil territory at this point with 2 minutes left and 6 goals on the board. The speed is unrelenting. And Space Station Gaming is not taking their foot off the pedal. This is just insane. And Envy looking for at least 1 on the scoreboard. Is going to try to do that now, but you mentioned it, there is not a lot of time on the board to get 6 goals. Especially if they can't get one off that kickoff. They need the control early. Mist finally has a chance. Can he get one at least on the board? No. Sipical playing extremely fast, takes that one away. And immediately control taken away from Envy. I gotta say now, guys, it's over. SSG is taking this 3s in quite the style as well.
You know, I expected Game 7 to be cutthroat, but not in this regard.
Yeah.
It was a chess match the whole way down, Leaf. It was back and forth, so close every single game. And then for some reason, Space Station's like, let's unleash all of it right now. I don't know if Coach Chrome had a speech or something, but man, they really came alive here in the last game.
Which worries me for Affinity coming up against him in the 2v2. Because his speed, this speed is very likely to carry over the 7th goal. We just need 1 more. You guys know what to do.
Well, it's not a true one unless Space Station does it to themselves.
26 seconds left and it's 7 goals up. There's not much more to say, but SSG looks phenomenal. They tried to give it to him there.
Yeah, they're.
I'm worried for Affinity in this.
See, this is the best part about Rocket League is the sportsmanship. They're now playing for their own goals. Like, You're going to see
trying.
Envy here
Do it.
trying to block and save the goals they need.
Come on, let him have it. Oh, no. You know what? That's one final battle. One final battle for Envy to take away victory there. They said, guys, you are not getting the Brazil. We are not giving this to you. We're putting it on the ground.
The one thing, the one glimmer of hope they have is they didn't allow the goal on their own. Like, yeah, okay.
They didn't get Brazil. That is the one victory they can walk away with. Wow. SSG, Space Station Gaming, tore away at the end there with a win. And I'm just not sure exactly what happened. I guess it was just the speed ramped up. It's like it's like when you pinch a hose and wait for it to all to build up at the end, and then you let go of it, and the speed all just released at the end there. And SSG going into that 2v2 is looking frightening.
Yeah, I told you, man. It's typical. 5 goals on 6 shots. Obviously, a lot of those opportunities created by Arsenal and AXB. Just his 50s in that game were absolutely phenomenal. He even got 1 goal his own by creating a 50 and then following it up for a shot. So, again, Space Station, when they're on, they are one of the best teams in North America, and we saw that showcased here. But a shout out to Envy. They were competitive as well.
Yeah, no, Envy looked great except for that last game. Something fell apart. They're going to have to watch the replays on that one for sure because, in my opinion, they definitely still should have had a potential win in this series. But SSG did something magical to take it away from them, and they're going to have to carry that magic over into a 2v2 as they face off against Affinity. Jorby and Dazarin will be bringing you that action. Stay tuned after the break for more Fusion Rocket League.